Hello, YouTube. Hello, Spotify. My name is Bruna, and today I'm hosting the Immersion. Today we're going to talk about recycling, and I have here with me Pedro and Nadia. This is not a class, just a conversation. Nobody here is going to teach, correct, or judge. It's just a safe place to talk. Well, today we're talking about recycling, and I think it's going to be a nice conversation, but it's always difficult, as I was saying before, it's always difficult for me to talk about recycling because I am not having good habits in terms of the environment. Oh my gosh, but it's all right. First of all, we always start introducing ourselves. So, Pedro, can you share with us who you are? Share with us your hobbies, more about you, please.
Okay, so as you can see, my name is Pedro. I'm actually working at PepsiCo as a trainee, and I've been at the company like since 2020, in the very beginning of the pandemics, like before the pandemic, but then I just moved to the home office mode. And I'm actually an engineer. I'm a tourism manufacturing engineering. I got a graduation in USP in São Carlos. And in PepsiCo, I work at the supply chain area. I've initially started working in IT, but then I transferred to the supply chain. And I'm very happy to be here today. It's my first class. It's my first opportunity to have this immersion. I really enjoy playing guitar and cello, and I also enjoy to play some sports as tennis and soccer.
So many different hobbies like sport and then instruments, music. I loved it. That's really nice. Well, my name is Bruna. For those who are watching us, I live in São Paulo with my family. I work as a teacher, but also as a community manager. I'm graduated in languages. And for some time of my life, I studied speech therapy for some years. And it was really, really nice. The course, it was good, but it wasn't what I was really into. Then I changed it to language to start teaching. And well, last year I started studying Spanish. So now I am trying to practice my Spanish more often here on Talk and Talk. I've been here since September 2021, and I started attending the meetings because even though I was a teacher, I didn't feel so comfortable talking to other people. Like I was okay during the classes, but not when I needed to talk to people, and it helped me a lot. And since then, I've been a hostess here since November 2021. All right, and today we're going to talk about recycling. This is going to be the subject. Nadia, do you want to introduce yourself? Você quer se apresentar?
Eu entendi ele falando. Você é engenheiro? Você está cursando engenharia?
Me formei em engenharia já.
Já se formou? Engenharia da computação?
De materiais, de manufatura.
Você gosta de guitarra?
Isso. Toquei violão há muito tempo. Aliás, toco violão por muito tempo.
Você se formou após a pandemia?
Não, antes da pandemia.
Antes
da pandemia.
Amazing.
Entendi.
Very good. All right, so we're going to start. I will change the question here, and I want to know from you, first of all, Pedro, if you recycle the garbage in your house, how is it for you? Like, before I start like talking about the subject, do you do it? How is it for you?
I don't usually recycle as well because I live with my mom, and when we changed the house, when we moved to here, we decided to recycle, but then we found out that they grab all stuff we put in the different how do you say, different trashes can, and they put all together. So regardless the fact if you want to recycle or not, they put all together. It doesn't matter. But I would like to be a more recyclable person.
Yes, it's every time I need to like talk about the environment, I feel really sad because I know the importance of doing these things, like recycling or reusing stuff or buying from small businesses. But sometimes I'm just like living and I forget. Like we don't recycle the garbage here. We use it to do this in the former building we lived. But just like you, like now here, they don't recycle like the condo, they don't recycle the trash, so we stopped doing it too. And yeah, it's really bad. What are the benefits of doing it?
Recycling, I would
Yeah.
like many benefits. I think the first one is reduce waste, of course, because there are a lot of waste, and as the population get bigger and bigger every time, so we're gonna have more and more garbage. We're gonna have more waste, and we can't deal with this with that in the future. So the first one, I think, it's reduce waste. We can also have like money saving, because we can have a circular economy. So reusing the stuff and recycling and put together back in some object or some truck. For example, in my company, they recycle to use in the truck. And we can also make like some jobs, because we are recycling, and we can make more people work to recycle.
Yes.
Reduce the greenhouse effect, of course.
Yes.
And I think that's it's a little bit where about we can recycle the benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I was thinking of everything you said. I was thinking about, but I think it's so nice when we can like reuse, it's like reuse the things we use it once, and then like we can use it again. Like I don't know, there are some artists that use some like packages, right? And this is really nice too, or some cans to like produce art, or to sometimes we can like exchange things that will be used to like produce something new, like a wheelchair or something
Yes.
like this. And I think this is amazing. But it's interesting to see that sometimes we live in a so like we live in a hurry that we don't like. It's not that we don't worry about the environment, but it's like our priorities are bigger than the place we we
Yes.
live in, right?
And it's
Yeah.
very simple to reuse, because you can use like a bottle, and you can like cut these and use like a recipient to put your brush stuff or whatever you can, your pencils and pens. And it's very simple, but as you said, we don't usually prioritize this stuff. Like we prioritize our other stuff in our daily routine, and not like using our time to do something useful for the planet.
Yes. And what do you think will be the moment where like people will really change their minds in term, because I always think of me, like when will I change my mind and start doing something? Because I must confess, I'm not a person who really does a lot of things, and I know there are a lot of people just like me, like when will be the limit? What do you think?
The limit gonna be when we when we when we don't have any more excuse, because the world is gonna it's gonna implode in itself. So yeah, we won't have any things to do, because it's bigger than us, and we don't have any actions. It will be like more like a fiery, like a fire, like reducing the fire than provide the stuff.
Yes, yes, it's true. Like, I don't know if you live in São Paulo, right?
Yes, in Sao Paulo.
Good. I remember some. I don't know if it was last year or in 2020 that deforestation started happening in some states in the north and in the northeast, and then like the news or the news started just like talking about that when it reached São Paulo and Rio, like when the clouds were dark, like when the sky was dark, and then people started like talking about that and being worried about the fires and about like deforestation. So I feel that like mainly here in the southeast, we are so busy taking care of our lives that we don't like we don't worry so much. This is really really negative, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think São Paulo does enough in terms of recycling? Like what can be done?
No, of course not. Of course not. Because it's not in the mindset of the people who really lives in São Paulo, like doing recycling. And I don't, it's not something that people, generally speaking, in Brazil, people are really into it. So I think São Paulo, it's not different because the city is very big and people are not usually, people don't care about too much recycling. And I think we can make more communications in news and journals and stuff and magazines to make more about the world, and people can be more aware to to this recycling thing. And communication, I think it's the first thing we can do for now, like for this moment. But also we can do different things like education in school, education in college, in colleges, and in the companies. I can see, for example, in my company, people really care about, and it's like a target to be reached. So when we put a target, people really care about. So when you put a target, not only in the company, not at the company, but you can put targets in your like daily routine with your family, with your friends, and you can like share with people what we can do and communicate to others the benefits for the world.
Yes, that's really nice. And there is like some. I was thinking here while you were talking about projects. We are some laws that it started here in São Paulo, like restaurants can't use disposable straws anymore, or
Yes.
like restaurants can use like disposable cups anymore. And I think this is a good first step, but at the same time, we know it's not all the restaurants or all the bars that are following the law. So, but I think it's a good first step, you know. Um, like the plastic bags that if you want to use, you need to buy them. I think it's helpful too. Like, how do you see these initiatives? You know?
Yes, I think you mentioned something interesting, like about putting some laws to be followed, like changing the straws for paper straws. I think it was a good initiative, but we can do more about this. We can put some gas stations and incentivize other electric cars, for example, and gas stations, not only about fuel and petroleum, oil gases, but also also other kind of fuels like natural gases and energy, for example.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the idea of electric cars, I agree with you that is a good one. But at the same time, they are so expensive, right? Actually, I don't know so much about the prices, but I've heard they are expensive, and I understand because it's a new technology, and it's not so accessible, right? But I agree with
Yes.
you that it should be more incentivized to be used. Yes. Is there any, like, you are saying we can do some stuff, and what, like, we can share with our friends or like talk about that more often? Have you ever been part of any project or something like this, or any initiative among your friends, or maybe any volunteer work?
If I ever if I ever been in those initiatives, I didn't
Yes,
understand.
like, yeah.
Yes, me and my friends, we once we talked about create like a company about recycling, and that's something that is really in our minds. So we really want to make some change. But I think the way you think about it, not only about the recycling, but everything, you were like the average of your best friends. And I don't know if you ever heard about that. But
Yes.
if we're in an environment where people really think about the changing of mind in environment and recycling, people will get more interested in changing this stuff. So I think you can share with your friends, you can talk, then you can like incentivize more the recycling, but you have to be in that environment. If your friends are not that people that really cares about, you can be the person that initiates all the mindset.
This is a good point. Yes, I've been like talking about that to some students, and this is making me think a lot. Like, oh, I should do something. There is a concept. I don't know if you have already heard about it, called plugging. It's
Plugin,
like, you have you ever heard about it? Plugging.
plugin. I don't think
Plugging.
so.
Yeah. No, it's like you go jogging and you start like cleaning the
Oh, okay,
while you are jogging.
okay.
So I think it's a really nice idea, because you are like doing exercises and cleaning up at the same time. I think it's a nice initiative. So yes, I totally agree with you that it's harder to do something, or to be like motivated or engaged to do something when your circle is not so worried about it. But I agree with you that our circle of friends, our group of friends, uh, they are a little bit the reflex of who we are too, and they really also like motivate us to do stuff, and like we can be the first one. I think I've never took some time to think about that, to just start telling and like talking about that. But I totally agree with you. Very good.
Yes.
And this is a nice idea of the company. I loved it. Uh, yeah, not easy, but I think it's a good one. Maybe, right? I don't know. It start with like something, maybe a startup, something like this. Good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, like have you thought about it, like how it would be, or you just like talked about that?
About the company?
Yeah.
We were about to. Oh, yes. We are just thinking that people really like throw away the glasses at the companies, and we can reuse those glasses and recycle those glasses to make something different.
Hmm.
And we just thought about, but we didn't go further, like to think more about that company and how we could create this. But it was something interesting to think about.
Yeah. Very good. Yes, and it's nice what you're saying, because like most of the time companies are the biggest producers of garbage, right? So
Yes.
it would be a good idea. You
Yes.
have my support already, so go for it.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you.
That's nice. Yeah. Do you think recycling should be something mandatory that we should do, and like everybody should do, or I don't know, that should there be a law for everybody to do that?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think many countries already do that, but in Brazil, that would be very difficult because it's a change of culture, and changing culture is not that easy. Because how can you put some laws if the people don't follow the laws? How can you put something and make this mandatory if the people don't really do that stuff? So you're gonna punish more the people because of that. I don't know. We can use some other countries as benchmarks to make something different and to understand how they do that. If they put this as a mandatory thing, or how they deal with that stuff. But I think the way is like making benchmarks with other countries and understand how they do that.
Yes, it is. That's true, and it's interesting to see like the last government, they were really worried about benchmarking with other countries, but most of the countries weren't so worried, like the for example, the US was not worried about the environment here, you know, like they were worried about like
Money.
taking our
Yes.
like taking stuff from us. So I totally agree with you. Oh, sorry.
Oh, oh,
I'm
bless
sorry.
you.
I didn't.
Bless you. No, it's okay.
All right.
One more time. Oh, one more time.
No, it's all right.
Pineapple. Just kidding.
No, but it's interesting, like what you said, you know, because at the same time, it's not only just like creating a law to do that, but also there would be necessary someone to fiscalize that and to make sure things are being recycled, right? And then taxes and everything, like people would complain about that. So I think it's not that simple, right? Just create a law and like start doing it. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
There's already some, not laws, but some environmental organizations that do something like footprints, carbon footprints, and they have some targets. For example, in Brazil, you can surpass these targets. For example, I don't remember the number, but you can surpass that number, that target that this organization set it up. But if you surpass that target, you have to pay something. Like you have to pay an amount, and when you touch the I don't know, the money, like the country's money,
Yeah.
they really care about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Like when we are talking about paying for things, then we start to be worried, right? Oh, okay, I will need to pay, so I will be worried about that. It's true. Yeah. But I didn't know about that, about the footprint and everything. I think it's a good initiative. And yeah, like companies should be worried about that, you know, like you said about like
Yes.
PepsiCo. I think that you have like this like target to be reached and everything. I think this is really important. And I know it is a big company that like produces a lot of garbage, a lot of plastic and everything. So but at the same time, I think it is a good example, you know. I think small companies should also be worried about that. Like sometimes we just think that big companies should be worried, but at the same time, why not small companies start to think about that too, you know? Yeah.
Not only companies, but also in our daily routines, in
Ah,
our families and house. The company, yes, in company you can use this as a track, as a target. In your house, you can't put a target. You can put a target, but it's not the same way as you're gonna put a target in a company, because the company, they have some goals to reach. In your house, you might have some goals to reach, but it's not the same thing as the company. But yes, you can do, and whenever and whatever you in any place.
yeah. Do you know any initiatives or any NGOs that are doing a job in terms of the environment, like any program or anyone you like recommend to follow or to see, like someone who is worried about these environmental causes?
Like a person, or what?
Yeah,
A
a
person?
person or I don't know, or a company or like someone like this, you know, that you like, oh, you should follow this person to learn more about that.
Oh yes, yes, they have. There is a account on Instagram. It's called Circular Economy. I forgot the whole name. I can put this in chat then, but it's something like Circular Economy underline something. I don't know what, but they used to put some posts about circular economy, and circular economy is like 100% related to recycling and reuse and stuff. Circular economy is like recycling, but also at the same time using this as a money saving. So it's like recycling the money, not only the materials and resources, but also the money as well. And I forgot the name. I'm gonna put in this chat then, like later.
Amazing. I don't know. I didn't know that about circular economy, but I liked it. I will take a look at it after the meeting. I was going to say something and I forgot. Oh yeah, I would share with you my recommendation. There is a really nice girl. She's a collector, and she talks about collecting garbage basically. And she's called Annie Catadora, and she shares how we can like separate the garbage, clean it, because I feel that sometimes we just throw things away and we don't worry about how we are doing it. You know, everything is dirty. We don't clean, or like if we are like throwing away, for example, glass, we don't protect it. Like we don't think someone is going to take it, you know, and they can be hurt. So her tips are amazing. I will share it here because she does an amazing
Oh,
job.
that's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's a really, really good initiative. You were saying that that sometimes like some companies they can't surpass a target, otherwise they will pay some money. Do you think if we think of the opposite, like people who recycle will be rewarded because of it, do you think this would be a good idea? Like, could this work?
Yes, of
Or
course. Of
like
course.
this should be something that shouldn't be paid for because it is important for everybody? No, I was thinking about that, like if it makes sense.
I think that the second thing you said is more visible, not more visible, but it will be better if we really care about by ourselves and not being rewarded by that. But I think, yes, as I said in the very beginning, changing change the mindset, changing the way of thinking, changing culture is very difficult. So what can we do now to change the world? I think that's gonna be, as you said, the rewarding stuff. I think it's gonna be something very useful for now, because, for example, there are some companies that put, for example, machines in the streets, and people can like put the materials and resources, for example, aluminiums, put in there, and they receive like points, and you can use those points to make some or money, or change that for other rewards, for example, cabs, or I don't know, clothes or stuff. And being rewarded would be something very interesting. For example, paying more for the catchers. Catchers? Is it catcher? The word? Catadores? Como
Collectors, for the collectors.
collectors. Yes, collectors. So if you pay more the collectors, we could have more collectors to do this stuff, and they could
Yeah,
be paid more, and we can help their lives, for example. So
yeah.
like investing in collectors, investing in rewards would be something very useful for this moment, but I don't think it's gonna change the world, because like there are 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah, and it's interesting what like if we think of collectors, you know, like this is a job and they are paid for it, but like people think they are doing a favor, you know, like, oh, take this garbage here, like, and do this favor for me, like take this out of here, like get rid of all this garbage, you know, and so it's not they are not like recognized, right, by their jobs. And I can imagine how frustrating it is, because lots of times they collect huge things like furniture, you know, like they collect so many stuff, and this is a really important job, you know. So
Yes,
um yeah,
they
I
should
totally
they should they should be more recognized, as you said.
acknowledge. Yes, yes, definitely. Very good. I was thinking of something else and I forgot. I was like taking a look of other, like at other questions here because I think these ones, they are like kind of similar to what we were already talking about. And I want to know from you if you have experience in other places that were cleaner, or if you have already been to any other country where the structure, you know, like what countries or places would be good role models for us.
I've been abroad once in life. It was London, and they were very interested in recycling. You can see the streets. The streets are very clean as you compare to Brazil, because Brazil, it's not that clean, you know about that. But when you go away, when you go abroad, for example, very rich countries as London, they really care and they invest in recycling. Companies are invested to recycle. People are really rewarded in some cases to really be part of this recycling thing. And there are some, as I said, Brazil, the machine, as you can be rewarded to change. In London, you already can see that more often. So, as I said, London was the unique place I've been abroad. I don't know about other countries, but I know there they really care about, like more than Brazil, of course.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never been abroad, and I don't know so much about that. But yeah, I can see from like I think we can see from TV or from shows, right? How different it is in other places, and um yeah, it's nice to think that, for example, here in São Paulo, we have like, it's a huge city, so we have a lot of people, right? Like one of the most populated state in the country. And I know some initiatives we have here, like that are here, they don't exist in other, they are not in other states, you know, like the plastic bags, for example, that we need to pay for it. It's just here, you know, like there are some other places, but it doesn't happen so often, you know, like people in other states can just use it freely, you know, and we need to pay for it. Or the I don't know how to say this in English. The rodízio.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot.
But
Yes,
I think the idea of rodízio is not to reduce the
the
gas
gas
emissions or things
emission.
like this, but to reduce the traffic of people, right? Because
Yes.
it's a huge city. But I think it is an initiative that could be used to like reduce pollution at least, you know, or try to do that. Um, I don't know.
You mentioned something very interesting, the rodízio thing, that of course they don't do the rodízio because of the gas emission, but that's something that really helps the environment. But you said the plastic bag as well, when you pay for it, that's very good initiative, because when you asked me in the very beginning of the session, you asked about São Paulo, if São Paulo was doing something interesting about recycling and reusing and stuff. And that was something that I forgot. But they do, they really do that stuff about like
We try.
using the plastic bag. And you and I just, something just popped to my mind, was the cycles, the cycles, the I forgot,
Um,
the lane is the cycle lanes.
cycle lanes, yeah.
Cycle lanes, is it cycle lanes?
Cycling lanes.
Cycling lanes, yeah, cycling lanes. And in São Paulo, and like since 2018, I forgot the year, but they started doing that lane, the cycling lane, where people could use more, and we can have more buses going and traveling around, and not only cars anymore. But those initiatives really help the states, in the city.
Yeah. Buses and also like cycling lanes, right? I think both are helpful, like
Both.
the buses lanes, because they like it's faster for like the buses to move around the city, and also the cycling. But I don't know, now in this new government, like the mayor is not so worried about the cycling lanes. I don't know in your neighborhood, but at least here in mine, like they are destroyed.
Oh,
So they are not like
the bus
maintained.
lane?
Yeah, the cycling lane. They
Oh,
are
the
not like
cycling lane.
yeah, like they're not maintaining it anymore. So it's a big bad. Um, but it's nice to see the initiative of the mayors, you know, to really do something and try to bring because like São Paulo is so huge, so it's like difficult to do this around the entire city. But and I know some neighborhoods didn't have the chance to have the cycling lanes, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, but it is a good I think it's a good initiative too, and that was brought from European countries, right? Like so it's really nice. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
The bus
amazing.
lane was something really useful for us because I don't know if you ever took a bus, but when I'm going to the company and I have to go like in a car or a bus and it's like rodízio time, not only rodízio time, but also traffic. It's very high and huge,
Hmm.
and you can use bus to go faster because they have a special lane. So
Yeah,
that's something that really incentivates more people to take the bus.
yes, it's true. Yeah, it's a difficult point because at the same time, like it is a good initiative, but at the same time, buses are so crowded, right? Because
Yes.
of people, because city is huge. So I also understand like people who choose to go by car because um, it's more comfortable, right?
Yes,
Like
that's
mainly at the hush hour, like at 6 or like 6 something or 5, right? Like depending of the job, like there are some rush hours that are harder. So
yeah.
yeah,
But
but
thinking about the Brazilian reality, people don't have much money, and they have to use those
yeah,
public transportations. For example, in subway in São Paulo, only in São Paulo city, 4 million people
no, it's
goes
amazing.
around every day. So 4 million. So using the subway, if we expand the subway more and more, we can have more people using it, and we can have less traffic, and we can also have like less pollutions and
Yes,
gases
I love
emissions.
the subway. Yeah, I love it. And it's interesting to think like I'm not that good at judging the price of the buses, you know, but my boyfriend lives in a small city, like, and the buses, the price is almost the same
Oh,
amount we pay here, you know, and like the quality is terrible. The amount of like buses are so lower, and the city is like so small, you know, so it's like, oh, okay, maybe we don't pay. Maybe it's not that expensive, but it's interesting to think about that too. And yes, I totally agree with you. Like I think the subway are just amazing, and now they are creating more and more lines, right? I think in
yes.
I don't know, in 10 years there will be more lines, and in 30 years, like the city, like there will be stations around the city, right? Like they are going out to the outskirts or trying to create stations far from from downtown or from like the most populated parts of
Yes.
the city. And I think this is really important so that everybody can have access to it, right?
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I just love the subway. I must confess I'm a bit suspicious because I think it's amazing, you know, like we can go from one place to the other so fast. Like sometimes I take an Uber, and when I get to the like when I am on my way, I think I should have taken the subway. You know, why am I doing it?
Yes, yes,
Like it's
because
not worth.
Yeah, because as you said, it's more comfortable. So you choose for the comfortable and not because of the gases emissions or the
Yeah,
world thing, but being more comfortable is more comfortable, and that's it.
that's the point. Yes, comfort is everything. Yeah, but yeah, it's a difficult choice. But now, like when I need to go out, I always take an Uber to the subway station. Like I will go by subway. Then it's going to be better. Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask you something else. Oh, what is something you can do today, tomorrow, this week to um take care of the environment, or to like what action can you take today to
I think as we were talking about, I can take more buses and subway instead of getting Uber or cars. That would be very easy to do. For example, if I go out tomorrow with my friends, I can't, I'm not, I don't have to use Uber or car, but I can go like in the subway. I know it's not that comfortable as we were talking about, but I know it's something very useful for the environment. That's something very easy to do, and it's like in my hands now. I can do that, and I don't know what else. I can like find like follow this collector you just sent me. That would be very useful because not now, but tomorrow and the next day, the next weeks, the next months, I can be more into this recycling thing because I'm seeing in my screens in my cell phones people doing more about the world, and you got more motivated about.
yeah. And it's really informative too, like today she like posted something about recycling and about like separating the trash and everything, and like something I didn't know. So I think it's really informative too, and I totally agree with you. I think for me it's something you said when we first started the conversation. I asked you about the benefits and everything, and you said, "Oh, I can get this bottle here and just like cut it and do something." And I was like, "Oh, that's true. I've never thought about that. Like sometimes we have things here we don't use anymore, and we can create something new, but we don't think about that, and we just throw things away and buy new ones, right?"
And you can make it fun. For example, in
Yeah,
your Saturdays morning, you can, for example, cut it and put some music. You said you enjoy samba, so you can put some samba on your speaker, and you can start like doing the stuff and like coloring
I
and
was thinking about
yeah.
I was thinking about it, like, because we usually see like a lot of people on the internet doing um like crafting things, like doing these
Yes.
handmade stuff, but uh it's like, oh, I don't have any talent to do something like this, but why do I need to be good at it? Like, why can't I just have this experience and do something ugly, but it's
Yes.
something I made, but it's nice. No, I took some time. I bought something like, I don't know, paints, or like sometimes because I don't have anything like that, but it's a good idea. I liked it.
And I once heard about creativity. And
Mhm.
if you think you don't have some creativity to do something, you you can just build your own creativity thing. So if you think, oh, I'm not really good at creating and crafting stuff, but you can like try yourself and try to do something different and pay whatever you want. Like just make it fun, because if you make it fun, you're gonna make it more and more and more and more.
Yeah, and like we don't need to. I feel that sometimes I take myself so serious, like, oh, I need to be beautiful. Like, why? I like we just need to enjoy the process of doing it. Like, oh,
Yes,
I made this, like I made this I don't know,
to
fancy
live the
cake.
moment. Yeah, to
Yeah,
live the moment.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Amazing. I loved it. I think that's it. It was such a pleasure talking to you. How was your first experience? Share with me.
No, it was amazing because I've never been to English classes, to be honest. So when I talk about some subjects, it's more interesting and more fun. And you don't like speak English, but you are also at the same time learning something and learning something about other person and other people. As you said today, you like opened my mind to do something different. You talked about Subway, we talked about the creativity and doing stuff and crafting stuff. And that's something that I really thought about, the recycling thing, the crafting stuff, all we said today, but it's not something that really pops to my mind every day. So when we talk and when we remember, when we put in the table to talk about, it really reminds me what do I have to do. So it was not only a good experience to speak English and to survive the English speaking, but also at the same time learning stuff. So that was really amazing. I really loved it.
I'm glad you liked it. Yes, I loved it because we just like brought so many different ideas and things, and I think it was a good conversation. I'm glad you had a nice time today, and I hope to see you here more often. Come back more often. My immersions, they are usually in the morning at 9 a.m. I don't know if it's a good time for you, and as I said, at 9 p.m. on Monday. But this is for beginners. But you are invited.
Okay.
You have more days to come. You are in the trial program, so you can attend more classes in 7 days. All
No,
right,
that's
I
amazing.
will share here the link for the feedback. You can just click there and say if you liked it, complain, suggest topics. And since you are new, just to share with you, when you are part of a plan, you have access to the questions like previously, and it's a good idea to see the subject before, then like you can choose the conversations you are going to attend. So it's just an idea for you. All right.
Okay,
Is
good.
everything
Very good.
clear? Do you have any questions? It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
So you,
Let's
you
talk.
talk
Let's talk. Go ahead. Go ahead.
just a question. You talked about like reading the subject before. How does it work?
Yeah, you have to be part of the pro plan to do
Oh,
that.
okay.
But like, so then you have access to the planner. It's just a page. Let me see if I can share it with you. It's a page where you can see all the questions, like you can see the questions we are going to use. Like sometimes we just don't follow the questions as we did today. We didn't use any question here, just the first one, but sometimes they are used, and then like you can at least be prepared for the conversation.
Okay.
Let me share with you here. And while I share, I will talk to Nadia. Nadia, is everything okay? Tá tudo bem? Como foi sua primeira experiência? Será que ela ainda tá por aqui? Nadia, tá por aí? I don't think so. So this is the planner. Then you can just choose the day and the language, and then you have the question.
Oi,
Tudo bem?
algumas coisas eu entendi, outras não.
Você gostou?
Gostei bastante.
Foi.
Gostei.
Legal. Boa.
Ouvindo que se aprende, né?
Mas tudo bem. Ó, fica tranquilo, foi seu primeiro dia, né? Você tá entendendo como funciona, fica tranquila. Realmente, assim, a gente vai colocando ali em prática, e aí assim que a gente vai desenvolvendo. Mas não se cobre também. Hoje foi sua primeira vez, né? Fica tranquila. Tá bom? Não se cobre tanto. Tá? Tá
Ok.
tudo bem. Então é isso.
Ok.
Aí você consegue ver aqui as perguntas. Alright? Deixa eu
tá
abrir uma aqui. Então, agora vai ter umas 8. Aí quando você clica, você consegue ver aqui as perguntas. Às vezes tem algum vídeo também, tipo, se o host escolhe algum vídeo, ele aparece aqui também. Bom,
Okay, very good.
that's it. It was a pleasure. Foi um prazer. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope to see you here more often. Nádia, eu tô te esperando na segunda às 9. E Pedro, espero que a gente se encontre aí por aí mais vezes. Thank you so much. Have a
9
great
da manhã.
night. Amanhã?
9 da manhã?
9 da noite, à noite.
Então tá.
Então, combinado.
Combinado. Tchau, tchau para
Thank you so
vocês.
much.